Let's talk about the Secure Act 2.0 and some important planning questions. I'm Bob DePasquale from Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices, and today we want to talk a little bit about some questions that you might have related to the new Secure Act. It's been a couple of years now since the Secure Act 2.0 has taken effect, and you may have heard of a couple of the provisions, like delaying the required minimum distribution age from 70 and a half to 72. Also, the elimination of the stretch IRA, so a non-spousal beneficiary to a retirement account now generally has about 10 years only to distribute those dollars. And then also, employers were given incentives to increase benefits in retirement savings. I want to get to the 4 questions. And the first one is, does your employer have a retirement savings plan? It might not have had one before the act, and maybe they've added that benefit to its employees. And if so, are you contributing? Look at the match if there is one. And generally, you should be contributing at least to the match. I mean, it's free money, or at least that's what we call it. And so if you're not contributing, you might want to check that out and see what the match is and consider how much of your paycheck you can afford to put into that retirement savings vehicle. Number 2 is, are you saving enough money for that retirement date? You may not know exactly when you're going to retire, and we don't know exactly what market returns will be, but you want to use either one of those free online calculators or consult a professional to help you make a projection to consider those retirement vehicles like the ones that your employer might have that we just mentioned, or any other retirement savings or long-term vehicles that you might have. Number 3 is about RMDs, or required minimum distributions, that I also mentioned earlier. Look at what your projected RMD will be. If it's less than what you're going to need, you may not need to make any adjustments. But what if your required minimum distribution is more than the amount of income that you'll need in retirement? And suddenly you may have a tax issue because you're pulling out more money than you want to, and that'll make your income go higher and potentially raise your tax bill. And number 4 is, are you going to have more money than you need to generate income in retirement? Because if you do, you may be passing on some taxable dollars to your family. And if it's not a spouse, that 10-year rule that I mentioned a moment ago might apply. In that scenario, you may want to consider alternate solutions to help lessen their tax burden after you pass. And then also, if you have those extra dollars, we always love to talk about generosity and philanthropy here at Initiate Impact. So there could be some planning you can do now to benefit organizations that you really care about later. All in all, the Secure Act was designed to help people have a more successful retirement. And there's a couple of rules that you may not even realize and you might pick up along the way, such as the auto enrollments that some employers are putting on their retirement plans. You may be contributing to a plan that you don't even know. And that could be a good thing if you want it to be simple for yourselves, but make sure you know where you're putting your money. It's been labeled a retirement crisis, but it really doesn't have to be that way. Some of the age-old processes still apply. Working a little bit longer, saving a little bit more, spending a little bit less, those can all be helpful for your retirement. And then always consider taxation. The rules are constantly changing, and it's highly likely that the tax law will be different when you retire than it is right now, unless you're super close. Whatever questions you have, we'd be more than happy to answer them here at Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices. I'm Bob DePasquale, wishing you a great, generous rest of your day.